Yes.
Hold on, 497. That is a big jump above the estimate of 228K. That's double of what economists had predicted.
So you are seeing some signs of cooling in the labor market, and that's important because the president's going to get out today and tout his 12 million, 13 million jobs. I got to tell you, that's not telling the whole story right now. A lot of that is filling in from the pandemic.
I mean, it's a close call. What is my favorite clip of the day? We have Biden humiliating Marge with a roast to rival his Correspondents' Dinner zinger.
Since I took office, we've seen over 60 domestic manufacturing announcements all across the solar supply chain. One of the biggest is in Dalton, Georgia. You may find it hard to believe, but that's Marguerite Taylor Greene's district. I'll be there for the groundbreaking.
All of those watching Fox News grit their teeth as they have to report on yet another month of soaring job numbers.
Yes.
Hold on, 497. That is a big jump above the estimate of 228K. That's double of what economists had predicted. 497,000 jobs added on private payroll. Well, that's not recessionary at all. By the way, look at the economist spread here. The estimates were anywhere from 95,000 jobs added for ADP to 334,000 jobs for ADP. So this is even in the, the range didn't even get anywhere near the actual number that we got. But yeah, private sector jobs, Sean, 497,000. Your reaction?
Yeah, well, it's just a testament to the strength of the U.S. economy. I would expect there'll be some revision to that number. It's so far out of line. But that's what's going on right now. The U.S. economy continues to sort of move along in a very rapid pace.
So you are seeing some signs of cooling in the labor market, and that's important because the president's going to get out today and tout his 12 million, 13 million jobs. I got to tell you, that's not telling the whole story right now. A lot of that is filling in from the pandemic. The real job gains have been much more modest than that. In fact, by some measures, we're still 1 million to 2 million jobs below where we should be right now because so many people are sitting on the sidelines. Yeah. They're not participating in the economy.
And that's just it. There's a difference between a job recovered after a pandemic and one created. Another fact I imagine.
I want to challenge the premise. You said the economy, 13.1 million jobs he's created. More.
These are post-COVID jobs. Okay. You know that. That's an artificial number.
No. Then let me stipulate this as an opportunity to engage civilly on this.
Okay.
Fair point. Your president, Donald Trump, lost 2.6 million jobs during his 4 years. We've created 13.1 million. Fine, you can maintain a COVID frame. How about the fact that Joe Biden's created more jobs, 6 times more jobs than the previous 3 Republican presidents combined?
Are you going to tell me that
at this point it is a monthly occurrence? Only I'm yet to see the desperate attempts this month to spin it as they did last. You'll remember this Nadia Comaneci level gymnastics.
This is the kind of report that will likely trigger Joe Biden to take a victory lap. Even though we know that inflation is eating into people's savings, but you don't see that in this number.
Oh, from a political perspective, I would imagine we'll see the president in front of microphones this morning, obviously touting this number. But I'll share a stat with you here, Maria, and it really is incredible. The jobs count has now beaten estimates 14 of the last 17 months. So we thought we were going to get a number here. It ends up being here. In this case, in the month of May, we're talking about 140,000 more jobs added than was expected.
What I don't like about this report is the fact that unemployment is rising. The unemployment rate is now up to 3.7%. We also have a participation rate of 62.6%. What does that tell you? People do not want to go back to work. You see lots of these small businesses unable to open, have to shorten their hours because they can't find the workers to come back to work. I'm not crazy about the wage number. Wages, average hourly earnings rose 4.3%. Okay number, but still lower than inflation. In other words, inflation is still cutting.
Now, as we gear up for 2024, there are many topics that Biden will need to be prepared to face scrutiny over, like, say, his plan B over student loan forgiveness. But there is one thing he can rely on and should run on: his economic record. He has a stellar economic record to run on.
The latest jobs report shows employers added 339,000 jobs last month,
blowing through expectations for May.
That is well above even the pace that we had seen in the month of April, which was revised up to 294,000.
There's a nifty chart floating around social media. Everyone should check it out. The U.S. has the highest post-pandemic growth in the G7 and the lowest inflation. So all the countries we compare ourselves to, 13.1 million jobs created. So yes, all the ones that were lost during COVID came back. And then we're gaining jobs at a faster clip than we did under the Trump presidency. 800K in manufacturing. There are articles all over talking about the manufacturing boom. We know unemployment is below 4%. We have 35,000 infrastructure projects. And we say, oh, you're not going to see a bridge for 20 years or whatever. There are Republican senators humiliating themselves on Twitter now, talking about how excited they are that the broadband is coming to them. $3 billion going on. Tommy Tuberville, I think is how you pronounce it, says like the broadband's coming. And then Joe Biden gets to quote retweet him and say, see you at the groundbreaking, which is what he did to Mitch McConnell. John Cornyn's been doing it. Nancy Mace, Elise Stefanik. These are people who voted against the things that their constituents are now going to get, and they want to take credit. And they don't deserve it for voting against it. 10.5 million new applicants for small business loans in the last 2 years. That's the fastest we've seen that happen over a 2-year period.
Especially up against a man who many believed to be fit for president because of his, quote, financial success. Biden's economic record trumps the box holders. It's not even close. And if the reports keep coming between this and Trump all but providing Democratic ads all on his own.
What do you say to that female independent suburban voter who feels that way, to win her back?
First of all, I won in 2020 by a lot, okay? Let's get that straight. I won in 2020.
You know that this,
and if you look at all of the tapes, if you look at everything that you want to look at, you take a look at Truth to Vote, where they have people stuffing the ballot boxes on tapes, or
Mr. President,
let's go to recent. Well, wait a minute. Let's go to recent. FBI Twitter. Let's go to recent. The 51 agents, all corrupt stuff, Brett.
Understand about the Hunter Biden,
no, but
all
that's cheating
fair
on the
things.
election.
But
that's cheating on the election.
You lost the 2020 election.
Brett. You take a look at all of the stuffed ballots. You take a look at all of the things, including things like the 51 intelligence agents.
There were recounts in all of the swing states. There was not significant widespread
We're trying
fraud.
to get recounts, real recounts, not just numbers of votes
widespread
cast.
corruption. There was not a sense of that. There were lawsuits, more than 50 of them, by your lawyers, some in front of judges that you appointed.
Look at Wisconsin.
That came out with no evidence.
Wisconsin has practically admitted it was rigged. Other states are doing the same right now, and it's continuing.
There have been reviews of every
election.
potential case of voter fraud in 6 battleground states, and they found fewer than 475 cases.
You know why? Because they didn't look at the right things.
Okay,
Brett.
are you going
they
to
were
be
counting? They were counting ballots, not the authenticity of the ballot.
First of all, I'm the one that got rid of Roe v. Wade.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
I think he'll be in good stead.
Hey, Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.